Hello and welcome back to Let's Play 35 plus years of Advanced Squad Leader. It's Saturday, but unfortunately, my usual Saturday partner, Rudin, is, I believe, out of the country. So as a result, I'm going to be playing solo tonight, which is a good way to excuse playing a very often reprinted scenario and kind of get that one out of the way and not have too much fuss with other players uh, because it's seen a lot of use by the community, or at least presumably so. I don't know the exact numbers because ASL is criminally underreported. Jeez, I wish I could speak well. Um, so yeah, we're gonna be playing this scenario. It's important to note that, like I said, this scenario has been reprinted very frequently, or yeah, very frequently, I think is the proper way to put it. It has seen no less than 6 printings, 2 under, I believe, its original banner of ASL News, and 4 times by Critical Hit as its own separate business. So very important to understand that sort of dynamic. I've mentioned before and on multiple occasions how Critical Hit loves to do these reprints, loves to try and squeeze as much life as it can out of any sort of property that it seemingly owns. I have no way of verifying any of that stuff. And as a result, you end up with, well, some sort of bloat. Somewhere there has to be bloat. There has to be scenarios that people have played before that won't be updated, and in its own way is very frustrating because you pay for a product, you don't know exactly what the contents are going to be, and then you're, deceived. And then imagine that happening to you twice or 3 times because, again, many of these things aren't necessarily labeled properly. So, what I mean by all that is that this scenario was originally printed by ASL News. It was ASL News number 15 in that magazine. Uh, it is the 25th scenario, I believe, that they ever came out with. Then it was reprinted by ASL News uh, as a sort of pack where they just, I guess, took all of their scenarios and put it in one pack. So, still keeping its nomenclature of ASL News 25. It then got picked up by Critical Hit, and then things get a little hazy because I'm not entirely sure about which came first, or at least which subsequent versions came. So, it was released under Europack 1, which I believe was the first one. Then I believe it's a toss up here. I think it's Retropack 3. Then Sealed Fate, Poland 1939, and then Critical Hits magazine number or volume 8, issue 1. So 6 times, four times by the same company or same developer, I guess, and twice by the other. As far as I can tell from the versions that I have 2 of them, maybe even 3 hidden somewhere. There's no significant changes that I can find in the very old format of the ASL News. The only thing that's remarkably different is there is a specific footnote. I believe the Polish get 1 unit that they can set up HIP, which isn't the case in quote-unquote modern versions of the scenario. And the victory conditions are spelled out in an SSR rather than in the victory conditions area like you would normally see. It always seems to have been a 5.5 turn scenario. The unit numbers have not changed at all. I don't think the support weapon rules or numbers have changed. The sniper and ELR numbers are the same. And I think the only other thing really of note, and one that I believe makes the original version better, is that SSR5 says use of the IIFT found in ASL Annual 89 is recommended. And that's right. Everybody should use the IIFT. IIFT is way better. You get that extra value from machine guns. Anyways, so we're going to go ahead with this. Only things I really need to point out here is that it's north is up, so east is to the right, west is to the left. We have the Germans that can set up on hex row L or east of it, and the Polish can set up on hex row R or west of it. As always, I set up with the Polish first because it's a solo game and there's concealment. Left for multiple hours, came back, and then just did a kind of a blind setup for the Germans. Not even really paying attention to the objectives outside of the first one. Just to try and keep it as fair as possible. One other thing that I had forgotten and put up afterwards, which if anything is just going to benefit the Polish, is that the Polish get a 100mm OBA module. It contains high explosive and smoke rounds. It's important to note that the rules, the special scenario rules specifically mention that when the Polish lose their first module, they will get a second identical module available the next player turn. So I'm not entirely sure if that's meant to be more in the event that you automatically lose one through double reds, which is entirely possible. I'm just going to assume that, you know, once I pull double red, I'll just put the reds back in and just draw as per usual, because otherwise I think that might be too strong. But anyways, artillery might not even play a factor in this. There are no pre-registered hexes, so nothing to worry about there. The off-board observer is level 3 as denoted on the counter. And in this scenario, the Germans will get reinforcements on turn 2. They come in on the east edge, and you get some trucks. You can do some stuff with that. Whereas the Polish, all their reinforcements come in on the actual west edge. The force compositions in this are completely one-sided. By that I mean it is in initially 10 squads to 4. The Germans have better leaders and a couple more sport weapons. The Polish have 4 squads, so nothing they can really play around with. And then in terms of reinforcements, the Germans get 5 squads and the Polish will get 3. So it's a 2-to-1 basically. Something for them to be worried about. Last thing, both sides get snipers, so we're back to regular rules, unlike the starter kit from last time. And I believe the only other thing to mention is that so this scenario has a sort of progressive objective, which I like, especially given what is required of the Germans. So the first thing they need to do is capture hex X5 within 3 turns. If they don't do that, they must capture hexes X5 and Y7 within 4 turns. If they don't do that, it's the prior 2 plus Z7 by turn 5, and failing that, they must get all 3 hexes plus BB7 at the end of player turn 6. So should be a lot of fun. It's important to note that the first 3 objectives are at the end of the game turn, whereas the objective by turn 6 is player turn, which is the end of the game anyways. But it's important to note that there is a difference, because it's not at the end of the German turn 3, it is at the game turn 3. Got that? Also, it's a wins immediately, so it's not there is value in rushing and being very aggressive as the Germans, just as there is sort of planning for an eventual maybe like turn 4 win versus turn 5 versus whatever. So anyways, that all said, I don't believe there's anything else to really mention outside of it is 9 September in this scenario. I know I'm jumping ahead a little bit in terms of dates, but honestly, I saw my list of scenarios and saw friggin' four in a row, all with the same name, same title, and I figured I might as well play this one, get it out of the way. Again, because it's old, has been reprinted a bunch, and it'll look better in my spreadsheet when I get rid of 4 or 6 entries instead of the usual 1 or 2. I've definitely mentioned it, I believe, a couple times ago when I was streaming with Rutin. Uh, I'm trying to burn through September a little quickly, just so that we can get to the Russians and Finns, just to kind of get a little bit of dynamic, changes going on here. Yeah. Anyways, so without further ado, let's jump into this. We actually do weather checks because we're back in that. I should actually put the sniper info because that's always useful, especially since I just rolled allied sniper. Now, thankfully, I don't have to worry about that, but something to keep in mind when you're playing. And both sides are ELR3, so that's pretty all right. So that was weather. There's nothing to do here. Rally phase, there's not going to be anything. I can gain concealment on all of these units because nobody can see them from these locations. I'm not going to bother, but it is something that I could do or request or whatever. In the prep fire phase, I'm going to assemble a mortar because I want that active. And similarly, K3, I want to assemble the MMG. It constitutes as use of a sport weapon, so they will have used one. And then I'm going to just take a regular shot, leader directed against whatever is in R3. So it is a 7 range, which is unfortunate because it is a concealed unit, and that is a woods. So it is a 1 firepower down 1 shot. And thankfully that's a result, but I really don't feel like I deserve that one. That is a 1-on-1, which is a pintash check, which will cause this guy to lose his concealment and take an immediate pin. Now, this is super good for the Germans, just because knowing that you have a unit somewhere, especially since there's only 4, you can kind of try and figure out where the rest of the units are going to be. I don't have anybody else I need to put together. So we'll go straight to the movement phase, and here I've got a lot of stuff I need to try to do here. So L10, first squad is going to declare CX. They will bypass M10 for 1. They will bypass N10 for 2. Continue to O10 for 3. 4, 5, and 6. Now, if this guy was real, I'd be very tempted to shoot at him in Q10 versus P10. P10 is also a good option, but Q10, at least for the double, if I had a support weapon with them and all that, that's just a lot of residual that you're not going to get through. And because the Germans would then have to be forced to go uphill, it's just not great for movement. So anyways, next guy is going to do same idea. So bypass 1, bypass 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 into Q9. I still don't really know if there's anything for me to shoot at or that I want to shoot at, so I'm not going to for the moment. I feel I should have probably done that a little bit backwards. Actually, you know what? I can still save this. So it's not that bad. All right. This is going to be very risky, but again, why not? You know what? Actually, I'm going to do it the other guys. This makes more sense, at least. So declare CX with L8. They will go to M9 for 1. They will bypass N9 for 2. Go into O10 for 3. Anyways, 4 into P10, 5 into Q10. This guy's real, right? No, damn. If I'm in Q10, I'm going to try this, but I don't know what the line of sight is like, and I feel like I'm going to regret this. So Mortar and X5 is going to take a shot. I'm really going to regret this, aren't I? Damn it. I figured as much. All right, well, 2 hit. That would have been so good, too. You know what? Actually, I have rate of fire, so I don't need to mark them as first fired. So, all right. Well, that's pretty unfortunate. So that was 4, 5, and then 6, 7 to get into the building. These guys are fake, so automatically they'll just disappear, and they are in there for 7. Now, I think there is some value. I think there's some value in having these guys go forward. To R8 for 8. And the reason for this is that at least I can get in this building. And if artillery does start to, or I can go straight into the gully. If artillery starts dropping, you really need to start hitting a lot more units, more different locations. So it's not, it doesn't feel like it's that bad. Mortar will take a shot at these guys though. That should be a hit because they are in the open. There is first fire non-assault movement and stuff happening to them. There is no what's the word I'm looking for? There's no TEM to the shot or anything like that. But that is still a 3 on what is that, 2.5? Yeah, 3 on 2.5 is still a 2 morale check. So leader will absolutely break, and ELR, and squad will also ELR and break. All right, well, that's unfortunate. That is them shot. Now, speaking of movement, I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know what? That is perfect. That is exactly the sort of thing I need. So, L9, that group will declare CX. 1, 2 to bypass. 3, 4, 5. Bypass the building for 6. Bypass woods for 7. Is there anything I can do against them as they come on? There we go. Is there anything I can do from there? What's their range? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know what? I'm gonna risk that. I don't know if that's actually visible. Please tell me that didn't clip. That doesn't clip as well. Man, if you're bypassing, do you have to see both or just one? That is a very important question. You might have to just see one. Bypass infantry. Bypass needs to be announced before. I don't believe it would count as... I don't think it counts as that. Does it say anywhere about being shot at? No. Alright. So infantry using bypass are subject to special terrain modifiers and LOS rules. A unit firing at a bypassing unit does not have to trace its LOS to the target hex center, but has the option to make its one allowed LOS check per attack to either hex vertex along a hex side traversed by a unit moving in bypass. Instead, should the LOS of a firing unit reach an open ground bypass hex side vertex unobstructed, that unit can claim a LOS and a first fire -2 DRM movement for non-assault movement in the open. A wall or hedge in the target hex is not an obstacle, although TM applies if crossed by LOS. If the firer traces his LOS to the hex center, it must cross a bypassed hex side. before reaching that hex center. If a unit is using bypass along a crystal line, yeah, okay. No, okay. So they should be able to be seen and shot at. Now, I believe I did the range. I think it's 8, 6. Wait, that's no T3 to T to S10, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What? Yeah, that's 7. Why'd that say? Oh, because, huh? So if you draw it, okay, that makes sense. Right. Okay, cool. Because it's calculating bypass in S9 versus bypass in S10, even though it said S10. Strange. Well, anyways, it is a range 7, which means it's just a 3 firepower shot, but it is 3 down 4. I got really lucky there, so that's a 4 on 3, which is a 1 morale check. The leader will break. That's super unfortunate. Squad 1 will break. Squad 2 will break. And the third guy's fine. All right. Well, I wish I could do. I wish I could succeed on a morale check here. That's kind of nuts. And no rate of fire. I think that's going to be it for movement. So defensive fire phase. First and foremost, I definitely want to go looking for my OBA. So if I remember the chart, always got to try and get contact. It is an off-board observer, so there is no contact that needs to be established / maintained. There's no spotting round or FFE2 on board. So we do a chit draw. First chit is black. So I do have access. And now to place a artillery request somewhere. So I'll just get on the board here first. I think I'm going to aim for T10. If I do, is it control? Yeah, okay. I can see T10. Okay. Well, I can see either. I'll do T10. Just because I did declare T10. I can see a unit. Like, no matter what, there is a unit there. So they're not invisible to the observer. And then I need to... I don't have a pre-registered hex, so I can't immediately convert it, which is unfortunate. I need to make an accuracy die. It is not accurate. So we do direction distance. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So spot around goes over in 08, and that will be it for OBA, which is fine. I don't think there's any other shots I can really do here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, no, it doesn't have LOS. No, I think that's it. Advanced fire phase, honestly, there's nothing I can do or really care to do. So we'll just go to route phase. In the route phase, the leader and all the broken squads are going to route to T10, as they can legally do so. The units in R8 are going to go to Q8 for 1. And then up to P8 for 5 total. I don't think anybody else needs to route or do anything like that. So we'll go to advances. In the advance phase, I think I'm going to get guy in S10 to move up. Guy in Q9 can go to Q8. Yeah, and then R10 is going to join R9 into that nice little building there. Oh, I can take off the prep fires, I guess. The mortar in J3 is going to go into K4. And this is just so I can start pummeling this mortar without getting the penalty. Although, I think the sizes, I don't think there's going to be airburst, but, you know, it's something, always something to think about anyways. I'd rather take a 0 than chance a -1. I think that just is sensible enough. So we go to turn 1 for the Polish. Weather has no change seen. Take off our pins. Rally phase, there's only German actions to do here, so Germans will try to rally in P8. That won't happen, so that goes away. And then over in T10, that will work. So the leader comes back. Then we'll try to rally Squad 1 and Squad 2. Squad 2 will come back because it's -1 for the woods and -1 for the leader. And that was a 9 down to 7. So pretty good return. I would have loved to get this guy back, but hey, it's honestly, that's not the worst that could have happened. So prep fire. Now, prep fire is kind of interesting here. I have some options. I'm not sure. Not sure necessarily where I want to target. I don't think this mortar sees T9. I can see R9, but that's just a tough shot to make, so I don't know if I want to do that. Similarly, X5 can't see T10 just because of levels. I could see these broken guys, but I think if I'm going to be taking shots here, I think it's way more valuable to shoot at, say, this building, try to get a crit or something, and work it out that way. So yeah, I think that's the plan. Mortar against building won't be a hit. I do have at least an acquisition, so I'm going to use the best of that. I should do OBA first. I don't have a reason to ever put OBA over here, so that's pretty much why I didn't bother. But yeah, OBA, again, contact is automatic because it's off board. There is a spotting round, so I can go to the spotting round column. Do I wish to cancel my spotting round? No, because I do want to move it. I don't want to convert it where it is. I want to move it. So would I want to convert? Do I want to move and convert it? I think that's the best because I could get some good results here. So I can move. If I convert it and move it, I can place it 18 hexes. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to aim for S10. I should also, you know what, I'm going to clone this so that I know the distance here. Does Observer have LOS? We've already determined that, yes. All the units, or all of them are not all of them are unknown to the Observer, so I don't have to worry about that. I make an accuracy die check. It is not, because I believe you need a 1 to be accurate. And then I have to make a direction and extent of direction error. So the maximum extent equals distance of correction divided by 3. Fractions rounded up. So in this case, it was 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be corrected 2 hexes. So I'm just going to roll 1 die. So it goes to U9, which is unfortunate. I think that's probably the outside of S8 and going off board. That's the worst result I could have wanted. So either way, it is a 100mm artillery. It immediately will drop and start resolving. So U10 has a IFT. Ooh, that was really good too. 100mm is 20 firepower, and 4 is only a KIA. So I need a 3 or less to get like actual results there. So nothing on U10. You know what? I should roll these as just so I don't confuse them. So T9 is struck by a 7 on 20, which is a 2 morale check. They will break, unfortunate, but not that bad. T8 will have no effect. U8 is going to have shell holes, I believe. So I'm just going to place those. Terrain, where's the terrain stuff? Since when do they not have the... I must be looking in the wrong spot here. There we go. Shells. Shells in U8, V8, nothing. V9, nothing. And lastly, U9, also nothing. So this gets flipped to FFE2, and we don't have to worry about it for a little bit. Anything else in prep fire phase? I don't think that R3 can see P8, so I'm not going to bother. But I do want to take one shot, I believe. Yeah, I think if I take one shot, I can. That'll be fine. So Squadron R3 is going to shoot at the guy with the mortar. That sucks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's going to be half. So it's 3. They will cower down to 1. And then is up 1. So it's a pin task check. They are pinned. So at least there's that. But yeah, unfortunate. Man, I've really been rolling poorly on task checks and morale checks. Holy crap. All right. I don't think I need to do any other... Is there any other prep fire I need to do? Not really. I think I can allow myself one turn of this. So if this guy... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... Yeah, I think I'll try a 3-up-1. 7 on 3 is a pin task check against all these guys in R9. So task check, task check, task check. That's when I roll 7s. All right. Thank you, Dicebot, I guess. So that's prep fired. Go to movement. Oh, wait. I did shoot this guy. That's what I wanted to do. So movement phase. I'm going to declare CX. I'm going to assume that at some point they would lose concealment. Probably not. But I don't think it matters all that much right now anyways. So, yeah, definitely if I got up, that's very important actually. I need to not expose this guy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, come on. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Yeah, because I need to protect from these guys coming in. And there's no other movement I can do. So, defensive fire. Germans get to shoot. So, I think it makes the most sense to have these 3... Actually, I already know where everybody is. So, yeah, I don't need to waste shots. I was going to shoot on T6, but I already know where all the squads are. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, it'll be a 6-up-2. 7 on 6 is a normal morale check against the mortar guy. Mortar guy will break. That's silly. All right. That goes away. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna there. All right. Well, that's value. That is for sure. I don't think I could see these guys or these guys from here. So that's no point there. Mortar doesn't need to shoot. Not really anyways. But the K3 gang is going to shoot at R3. So that should be a 7 down 1. 6 on 7 is a 1 morale check against that guy. And that guy will ELR and break. That sucks. Did I get rate of fire? I did. Well, 5 flat against the guys in the shell hole. Or foxhole, sorry. 5 on 5 is a 1 morale check. Okay. And he will break. That is not good. Did I get rate? No. Cool. That is really not good. Okay. That kind of... Yeah, that breaks a lot of this defense here. Advanced fire phase, there can be none because well, all the ones that can see any units are broken. So that's not, like I said, that's not good. Routes, I mean, I have a lot now. Guys with the mortar, I'm going to drop the mortar. Have this guy go down into this woods. Similarly, the guy with the LMG and the 9.2 leader are going to skip and jump into the foxhole and then into V3 and then further into W4. That should cost them 6, so that should be that should still be fine. Actually, you know what? If I can, 2, 3, 4. No, I can't get them in there. That's actually a really important question. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this guy has to route this way because it's the closest in movement factors. On the German side, there is 1 unit to route, and then we'll just go to T10 to where the leader is, because why not? Take off defensive. In terms of advances, I'm going to have the squad in X4 go to X3, specifically so it can't be seen by these guys, or at least I'm pretty sure he can't. And then the leader will go where the broken guy is to try and rally. It's about as good as I can do at this point, I think. There is no CC. We go to German turn 2. Why did it do that? Oh, that's a super weird interaction. I don't like that. All right, I'm just going to take off the reinforcement things. Yeah, that looks weird. Weather, no change. We'll put on, or take off our pins and put on our reinforcements. So like I said at the start here, German reinforcements are 5 squads, which is kind of, I mean, good for the Germans, that's for sure. Got an 8-0, a 7-0, a DM MMG, 2 LMGs, and I believe a DM mortar, yep. And then lastly, 3 Opel Blitz trucks. Transports, Opel, is it this one? I think so. All right. So I think this makes the most sense. Yeah, so, man, that's... Huh. Because a full squad is 10 PP, which means I need this guy to carry that. And then this squad will carry these 2. So that's 15. Yeah, that's 17. Yeah, that works via the numbers. Okay. All these guys come in off the east edge. You can pick any hex, presumably. There's no need to worry about mud or anything, but I'm just gonna have them up on the road because that makes the most sense. Obviously, I want to face the west, but you know, and then I'll just save myself one movement point. All right, so rally phase, since weather didn't do anything. I might, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. We'll do self-rally first, I guess. Makes it. And then the squad that was with them also makes it. Great. Over here, I'll do the DM squad first. Should have done backwards. But I will get the second guy. The non-DM guy. And the DM will go away. Cool. Over on the Polish side, this guy can't rally, so his DM will go away. Try to rally this guy. +4, nope. But close. And then over here with the -2 leader, that will make it, which is intense. Yeah, that's it for rally phase. Cool. Prep fire phase, I will have the mortar in K4 shoot at the guys in W4, since that should be seen. And I think it's pretty obvious if you're looking at these lines. Well, pretty obvious. This K3 to W4 is very tight, but I wouldn't trust it because of the way that it crosses. This is a straight line, pretty self-explanatory. Didn't hit it anyways, but I do have a acquisition of my own, I guess. There you go. Perfect. Is there anything I want to do with him? Otherwise, not really. I don't... Can I shoot that far? 12? I can do a 2 up 1. 6 on 2 pin test check. Leader's fine. Squad's fine. Kinda wish I'd flipped those numbers back. Alright. Is there anything else for me to do? I don't believe so. There is a question about, can I do anything with this, the 9-2? Like, could I shoot at them? But that's still so close, I don't want to risk it. Because at this point, I think I'd rather just get movement out of them than anything else. They won't be exposed to anything. So that's not really going to matter. So, yeah. Yeah, and I don't really have any shots from anybody else I want to do. It is important to note that FFE2 should still be considered blast zone and everything, so you can't just walk through this. So it is good area denial, at the very least. But yeah. Squad in Q8 is going to lose its CX. They will go to Q7 for 1, Q6 for 2, R5 for 3, and S5 for 4. I actually don't know if I could see them because of the height advantage next to them. They might be able to see them there. You know what? I will try, because I could potentially get a subsequent, and there's still a lot of movement to do. So yeah, I think I'm gonna try it, but I won't be surprised if that's blocked. No, it's not. Okay, cool. So that is a 1, 2, 3, 6 firepower down 4. 6 on 6, I believe, is a normal on the 6. No, 1 check. All right, so that guy broken anyways, but still. All right, so that is those guys. First fired. Might as well put down the residual. These guys will lose CX. They can't get shot at, so I think that's fine to do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, bypass, 2, 3, 4. This squad will do 1, 2, 3, 4. The leader will... Oh, you know, I messed that up again. I keep doing that. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but man, that's kind of frustrating that I keep doing that. Well, let's do this now so I don't bungle this up here. So these guys are all going to declare CX as a group. They will go to S10, bypass 1, 2, 3, bypass 4, 5, 6. Actually, is a gully 1, or is it... Depends on terrain. So it's just 1 to get in if it's... Oh, if you're going down. Okay. So it'd be 5. So I was there for 4. I'll just do 5, 6. Because if I'm here 4, 5. Yeah, 6, 7. I can't get into here no matter what. This leader will do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I can just advance afterwards. And then these guys have 6 to move with. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, bypass 4, 5, 6. And then from off board, trucks, because they're off board, they set up mobile or in motion. So trucks, I believe, are always 1 on the road because they're not pinned. Yeah, they're not buttoned up, but well, actually, can I mark them as unbuttoned? No, I think the counter is actually white in real life. But anyways, so half, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5, 5.5, 6.5, 7. So I'm just gonna have these guys here for 7. 7.5, 8, 8.5, 9, 9.5, 10, 10.5, or sorry, 11, 11.5, 12, 12.5, 13, 14, 14.5, 15. That is over half. I'll unload. So these guys have 1 movement left, and they'll jump into Q5. Because this would have to stop for 16. Yeah, that should be fine. So again, these guys were here for 7. I do have to note that the upper guy is there for 7.5. So 7, 7.5, 8, 8.5, 9, 9.5, 10. What is brush? Does brush do anything for just 6? So it was 10, so 16. And then open ground, I believe, is 4. Yeah. So 20. They'll just stop and dismount. Because it'd be 21. Yeah, I can dismount there for their last point. And then these guys are there for 7.5, 8, 8.5, 9, 9.5, 10. And I'm just gonna keep these guys in motion. I think that's all I want to do. Or can do. Defensive fire. I don't think there's any defensive fire I can do. This guy's broken. This guy can't see anybody. These guys already shot. So I think the only thing for me to do is artillery, really. So, artillery. Let's get our OBA thing here. So, again, radio contact is always established. There is an FFE2 on board, so we'll go to FFE2 column. Do I wish to cancel the FFE2? I would like to move it. If not, does the observer have LOS to the blast height and to a location adjacent to the FFE that contains... Ooh, okay, so hold on. Let me make sure I'm reading this right. So disregarding smoke, does observer have LOS to base level of FFE hex? I absolutely do, because of the height advantage. So yes, do I wish to move, correct the FFE2? Yes. Does observer have LOS to blast height? Yes. Place AR within 3 hexes. So 1, 2, 3 into S7. Oh, excuse me. Actually, let's clone this. There. Ooh, do I have LOS to a location in there? And if I do this, I don't. Really? Huh. I wonder if that's... I wonder if this is a bug or if it's the right calculation but not showing on the right line here, because I would imagine it would be blocked at Y7 rather than anywhere else. But I'm gonna play it as that. It says it doesn't. Um, yeah, does observer have LOS to a location in the AR hex? No. Remove the AR and cancel fire mission at opponent's option of resolve in place and flip. Oh, okay, yeah. So I just resolve it here. I think is how it goes. That sucks. Yeah. All right. Well, that doesn't get moved. Is there any other shots to do? I think no. Yeah. No. Advanced fire phase. I do have some things to do or that I want to do. I guess technically there's something other I should have probably been mentioning that these guys are crest status. Can you move directly into crest status? Something I'd have to check. But I guess I'll just say that there's no shots other than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a 1-up-1. 1-up-1 from the guy on the bridge. 4, really? That's where I get like a great roll. Haven't triggered snipers at all yet. Well, normal morale check against the guys in the woods. Pinned leader and broken squad. Wow. Okay. Well, sometimes it pays to just throw a BS roll like that. Over in P0, I will take the opportunity to shoot the guys in the building. It'd be a 2 up 1, but the real important part is that those guys are DM'd. And I think that's it for shots. Routes. I mean, routes is super easy now because that guy's dead. Or broken, I should say. So this guy can freely route. At the very least, he can go back into these woods in R6, where the leader is. I don't know if there's anything else. This guy has to, or is going to want to route, so I'm going to route him. Oh, crap. That's true. I can only go to T0. I might as well. There's no reason to stick around there. And then this guy, oh, crap. That's right. The leader's... I'm going to risk having him stay there because I need that 9-2. That is going to be a lot of the value there. German advances. Well, let's have the leader go with the broken squad. That's easy. I'm going to have one guy go up to T7. The other guy will go back to S9. This time I really need to spread out, guys, so I don't have them all get blown up by artillery. Squad in S7 is going to CX to go into these woods. You'd have to wait till close combat, but I know these guys are fake, so I'm just going to delete them. This guy can just go up, because why not? Guys in Q5 can go to Q4. The squads... Yeah, I might as well. What's the worst that could happen? Mortar can stay where he is. These guys can go up 1. Pretty sure that's it. No CC. We go to Polish turn 2. Weather, no change. Rallies. Can take off pins here real quick. Rallies. Yeah, try to self-rally this guy. Nope. Try to rally the guy in W4. Nope, that sucks. And then Z4 does make it back. Okay. That can come off. This guy can't shoot anybody, so I'll just take it off now. German side, they will try to rally the guys without the DM. Makes it. Should have reversed those rolls, I think. And the other guy, there's a -2 on that, so that will make it. That's kind of ridiculous, I'll be honest. Nobody else needs to do anything. So we go to prep fire. I can't prep fire with anybody. No, I can't prep fire with anybody. So I'm gonna have Well, he can't be seen by anybody but the mortar, so I'm going to chance it. Squadron X3 goes to X4 as an assault move. I'm not going to have the mortar shoot at him, because why would I? Nobody else should be able to see this guy. I can move this as well. And then... yeah, I think I'm just going to have these two guys assault move to Y5. That's all I can do. Oh, shoot. Prefer. I don't know why I'm forgetting this all the time now. Offboard observer, artillery. We go back to contact. It's maintained. There's no SR or FFE2, so I have to do a chit draw. Red, no access. All right, well, basically kind of what I figured. Cool. Let me just see here. B, no access. Okay, yeah, it's just that. So the FFE-C, I believe, stays on there. Is there anything else here that would determine whether or not the... Sorry, I'm just trying to check to make sure that there's not something weird where, like, does loss of access cause... Ooh, okay, here's, this is actually really important color coding here. So red's access lost. Orange, where the hell is orange? There's a color here that's not... Okay, I need to refer to my official rulebook then. Rulebook. Charts. Ordnance. Tables. Oh, you're going to be at the bottom. All right, fine. Off-board artillery. Cool. So colors here are really important, specifically because there are 3 types of loss of access, and not that it's not explained anywhere, because it is, but it's not something that you would necessarily expect. So if it's green, you retain access, so you still have all your stuff. If it's red, you lose access automatically. You lose stuff. And this is very important to distinguish, because there is orange, and orange is that you lose access, like your access expires, but the FFEC is removed at the end of the next rally phase. And then you have yellow, which is, again, you lose access, but the FFEC remains on board for the next OBA action. So, presumably, if it's straight red, you just lose it. And I assume that this, because I got red and no access, I just lose FFEC, which is unfortunate. Alright, well, I already did my moves. There was nothing else I could do. So, defensive fire phase, mortar against guys in the woods. It's another miss, so that will just stay like that. I mean, I probably could have put DM on that, but I'm going to do a fire group with S6. Actually, no, I'm going to do a fire group with S5, S6, and T6. And you know what? T7. Why not? I can see with these guys as well. I'm just going to do a giant fire group. Screw it. Why not? I have to check with everybody to see if they can see W4. That's a yes. That's a yes. Well, I guess, yeah, whatever. Whatever. I just won't have that 4. Cool. And cool. Okay, so I can see with 4, 8, 22, 26 firepower up to 9 on 26 is a 2 morale check. So leader first. Breaks. And 2 morale check for the squad. They are a half squad now. First actual losses so far, which is kind of crazy, all things considered. I'll just do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know what? I'll do 2 up 1. Why not? No. I don't think these guys can see him. I don't think these guys can see anybody. So I think that's it for defensive. Advanced fire phase, none. Routes. I mean, at this point, I really do need to get these guys the hell out of here. So I think it makes the most sense to... actually, I gotta go through X3, I believe. Yeah. Ooh, actually... Shoot. Oh, no, wait, no. I can... 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 4. Yeah, no, I can. So I'll go through X3 for 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5 into Z4 final. I didn't shoot at T0, so that guy just stays where he is. He's not DM'd. And that is it for that. Advances, I'm going to have the squad in X4 go to W5 and get into the foxhole, and the other guys are going to jump onto X5. And that's really all I can do. Take off our prep and defensive. No CC. And we go to turn 3 for the Germans. Rally sees no change. Or, sorry, weather sees no change. Rallies. There's only the Polish to do anything. The leader here will self-rally. And then the half squad will promptly kill themselves. That's great. I believe I can automatically pick up the LMG as a leader thing. I think they're allowed to do that at all times. So yeah, he picks up that LMG. I should flip this over. There you go. Oh, it did it again. God dang it. I don't like how that's a thing. Cool. Alright, so that's rally phase. Prep fire. Now, prep fire has some options here. I might seriously just consider running this. These guys are CX, so I can't make up the hill, I don't believe. But I can still contest it. Or at least contest the foxhole, which is really strong. Shoot. That is a very... There's a lot of options here that are really nice. To the point where I think I'm just going to do mortar against the guys in X5. Nope. But, I guess... did I want to try and pick it up? You know what? Sure. Mortar will go onto the squad here. There. This is flipped, and this guy is marked. Prep. And then we'll go to movement phase. So in the movement phase, I'm going to lose a bunch of CXs here, but I'm going to try and do the easier ones here first. So, this guy loses CX. He's going to go 1 to U6. I'm going to have the mortar shoot, because that's within range. 1, 2, 3, yeah. Ooh, that might be a hit. Yeah, no, I think I'll get, yeah, I think specifically from first fire, non-assault movement, and open ground. So I think it will be a hit. If I'm using it here, I'm not using on TEM. That's a 7 on 2.5, which is a miss. That's unfortunate. Do I have rate? I do not have rate either. So we'll just mark that as support weapon. Two. Is there any reason to shoot? Okay, so first off, do mortars leave residual? I feel like that's the case. Dash, dust, factory, rooftop, narrow streets. OBA doesn't leave residual, which makes sense because you just get shot by it. No, I think you do. When when a unit is attacked by a defensive subscreen, blah blah, target location the attack is resolved is marked with the residual equal to half the highest IFT firepower column used for that attack. If the attack includes a 2 kill residual is created in the same way. Thereafter, anybody who goes through it, yeah, okay. No more than 1 residual. Restrictions. Yeah, no, I think I do, but it is, unfortunately, it's just a 1 because it's halved twice. Or at least I'm pretty sure that's how it works. So, is there anybody that wants to shoot in W5? I don't think so. It's painful to think about it, but I'll get to W6. I'm gonna have the guy in X5 is gonna shoot. So that's an 8 down 2 only. Well, leader directed, so it's a 2 on 8, which I'm pretty sure is a KIA. Yeah, that is a 1 KIA. So that guy's just wiped out. 4 residual. Yeah, you know what? Let's do this. So this squad is going to declare CX 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, and then use. Oh no, wait, can I use bonus to get off road? I don't think I can. This is fine, anyways. Meanwhile, this guy with the leader is going to declare CX 1, 2, 3, 4, bypass 5, 6, 7. Stays there. This guy in T7 is going to declare the CX. Goes 1, 2, bypass 3, 4, 5. And a subsequent because they need to at this point. So it's a 4 firepower down 2. 7 on 4 is only a pin task, and they are pinned, which is unfortunate. 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, that's dirty. S5 declares CX, goes 1, 2, 3. Do I want to shoot at him here? I don't want to, but I might regret this. So it's 2, 3, bypass 4, bypass 5. Definitely gonna shoot here. So 8 down 1. Or sorry, 8 flat. 7 on 8 is a 1 morale check. And they are fine, which that's unfortunate. And then they will continue into X4 for 6. I mean, at this point, you know what? Yeah, I will do shoot. You know what? That's very interesting. Does it break everybody? Or is it... I think it does. Shoot. That is a 10 down 2, 8 on 4 is nothing, but it will break these two guys. There's 2 residual. Leader in Z4 is going to try and shoot. I don't think he gets his bonuses. 6 on 2 is a pintash check. He's fine. That sucks. It might actually even be on 1. I forget. I'd have to double check the LMG rules, but I forget if it's they shoot at half firepower on an LMG. It might be. It doesn't matter, but you know, still. Guys in S6 will lose CX. I'm gonna have the 447 go first. Goes T5 for 1, U5 for 2, V5 for 3. This guy's just gonna shoot because why not? Oops. Don't know why I did that one. So that is a subsequent. It's a 4 down 2. So it's a 5 on 4, which is a 1 morale check. Guy's fine. 1, 2, 3. At this point, like, nothing is going right. They're kind of screwed no matter what now. Because these guys are dead. I was hoping at least if I can kill the guys in X4, I will still be able to retreat. But I can't do that now. Like this might legitimately just be gain at this point. Unless no, I can't even. It is game turn, not player turn, so that's very important to keep in mind. But I don't think that's going to be enough. Because as long as I control it, do I need to have a guy on the hex? Or do I need to control the hex? Wins if he controls. Alright, I think that's game then. And we'll learn why shortly. Yeah, so you know what? Screw it. I'll go take that shot. 4-2, that breaks him. It's a 6-4, which is a normal morale check against the 4-6-7. He's fine. Alright, well then... that really, those IFTs really came to bite me in the ass afterwards. Holy crap. These guys will lose their CX. Stacked with the leader, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't really need to go anywhere. I'll just have these guys in the woods. Q4, they're going to declare CX, because why not? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to threaten this guy. These guys got out of the truck, so they're going to CX. 1, 2, bypass 3, 4, 5, 6. And then these guys are just going to go 1, 2. Forces that guy to DM. These guys are in motion. Well, okay, so I don't think there's technically a recall rule automatically, but for the purposes of not being cheesy and not having like... Yeah, thank you, Kaneko. I don't need bots, though. Thank you. Can we ban this guy? I can warn him? No, you're getting banned. Sorry, buddy. Alright. Sorry. Never a fan of people trying to sell buy views or whatever. Even if that would unlock, I guess, partnership, and then I could, like, probably get donations or whatever going. Not that I really need donations, but it does help pay for some of the modules. Anyways, so one of the things that you can kind of force is transports, like trucks, to auto recall. I don't really have a purpose to ever use them outside of what they've already done, barring this one, of course. So I'm just going to take this guy, and I'm just going to remove him from the map, and they got recalled. It'll take two turns and whatever, but for... You know, for our purposes, they're recalled. We don't need to muck around with anything. This last truck is going to keep stay in motion, and it's going to move. So it's like 0.5, 6.5, 7.5, or sorry, no, 10.5, 14.5, Jesus, 18.5, 22.5. 26.5, 27.5, 28, and stays in motion. That's it, really. Defensive fire phase, there's none that can be done. Everybody's shot, everybody's broken, everybody's everything, really. Advanced fire phase, I don't need to shoot with anybody outside of these guys, X3 and X4, which they will do, so that I can try and blast away Z4. So I'm looking at a 6 firepower up 2. Nope. Nobody else needs to take shots or should want to make any shots. And then here's where there's the... God, why can't they think of them? So a long time ago, I was talking about prisoners and how... prisoner rules is something that you really need to be mindful of or be aware of, I guess is probably the better way to put it. Because if a unit can't retreat, if they can't leave, then under the route rules, then they would become prisoners. So if we actually check my official rules instead of anything else, let's see to make sure that we're reading this correctly according to the rules as declared in V2.10. So I think that's the most up to date. If there's a more up to date one, then it's probably like V2.11 or whatever. So routing. During the route phase, a broken unit not in melee may not remain in the same open ground hex in the normal range and LOS of a known non-melee enemy unit its support weapon or gun, nor, regardless of terrain, may it end a route phase adjacent to or in the same location with a known enemy unit that is both unbroken and night. Exceptions are night rules. A leader with no support weapon is still considered armed for purposes of determining legal route paths and enforcing failure to route eliminations. Broken units must route away attacker first, one unit at a time, exception voluntary route, during that route phase or be eliminated for failure to route. Exceptions surrender 20.21. Otherwise, a broken unit must route only if in a blaze. A broken unit may route if currently under DM. All broken units, including conscripts other than wounded SMC, have 6 movement factors. For use in the route phase, this amount can never be increased. A broken unit may end its route phase in an open ground hex in the LOS and normal range of a known enemy unit without interdiction, only if it has used low crawl during that route phase. But it still may not be adjacent to an unbroken and armed known enemy unit at the end of its route phase, or will be eliminated for failure to route. Broken units may not use bypass. So direction. Before I get to direction, is that where the prisoner rule is? I don't believe so. Cool. So we're going to jump to A20.21. So any broken infantry, unit during its route phase that is both adjacent to known good order armed enemy infantry and unable to route away from it, or only able to route while being subject to interdiction or resorting to low crawl, regardless of how it actually routes or if the possible unconcealed interdictor is known to it, will surrender to that enemy unit as its prisoner instead. Capture's choice of unit receiving surrender if more than one unit qualifies. After first abandoning all its support weapon, exception if pinned, a stack of broken units in a location surrenders simultaneously and must be accepted or rejected as a stack. If there are not enough guards for all such surrendering units, the excess units are freed as unarmed. Surrendering units are not subject to FFE or minefields, etc., etc., etc. So why this is super important is because if we look at this, if we take off our prep and defensive, if we look at this through the lens of prisoners, all of these units could become prisoners. There's no reason to some people who play ASL, I feel like they rush towards, like, and I'm guilty of this because I did not recognize the prisoner rule as being as important or present as it is. And I think it's important to understand how it's very important to recognize the prisoner rule. It's very important that there should probably be more penalties for like ignoring the prisoner rule in that sense. So with all that said, the Polish player would be the one to determine or discuss which unit would go first. And again, there's a lot of tactics here on how you want to portray that, or how you want to go about that. So, for example, the question here is whether or not I will want to force, or if I'm the Polish player, if I want to force a no quarter issue. Now, if you invoke no quarter, you're no longer subject to becoming prisoners, but that does mean that your units will start dying rather quickly, rather than becoming prisoners and the potential for all that sort of stuff. Yeah, so basically it just means that you're trading units dying for no quarter, which it's not always that helpful. And it's unfortunate because if I believe it's massacre. Yeah, so if you're massacring, you technically like boost the enemy side, you increase their ELR. But if you no quarter, nothing really happens. Like, it's not, which is unfortunate. It'd be nice if there was something to maybe like give a bonus morale check, or not morale check, but like +1 morale or something. So in this case, if I was the Polish player, I might want to say, uh, I will check these guys first, X5. It doesn't really matter which side, whether it's W5 or W5 or X5. But if I say W5, or sorry, X5, what do you want to do? I would choose no quarter because that kills these 2 units, and I don't want them as prisoners. So it immediately gets rid of them, and Viola, right? I can take this off. Second, now no quarter is in effect. So now it's very important to battle prisoners. There. So no quarter is now in effect. It is activated by the German side. So now the important part is, okay, well, if no quarter is now in effect, this guy can't surrender. He wouldn't surrender. So he has to low crawl somewhere. But there's nowhere that he can low crawl that isn't adjacent to. Like, no matter what, this guy can't do anything. So he just gets eliminated for failure to route. Over here, you have a bit of the same idea, whereas this guy normally would be eliminated, or become prisoners, or be eliminated. Now he can low crawl because he's just trying to avoid becoming prisoners. Like, that's the one instance where you can save 1 unit out of all this shenanigans, but that's the only way to do it. It's not a good tactic to use. There's no reason why you should put yourself in a bad position to force a no quarter. But it is interesting just how it comes up. So another thing to point out is I could do all the steps for off board. Like, okay, you know what? Because it is game turn, I might as well do it. But I really don't think it's gonna matter. Okay, so let's try not to be too pessimistic about this. So, off board, I would go through all the tables to do that stuff. So when we get to our tables, I don't have contact, but I will establish it automatically. There is no spotting round or FFE2, so I have to do a chit draw. I get black, so cool. I have that. I am going to place the artillery request on hex X5. I can see units. I don't have to do an extra chit draw. I will see if it's accurate. It is not. So we'll do distance direction, clone this, and we'll put this over here. And that is the spotting round. This goes away. Why this doesn't really matter, ultimately why it's not going to matter, is because the reinforcements. So one, this guy can't control territory. SMCs can't control a hex. So in the advanced phase for the Germans, this is the following would happen. I would get Y7 because why not? I will take X5, so I have the victory hex now. V6 will go to V7 because why not? These guys will go into the foxhole. The guys in V4 will go to the foxhole in U4. These guys are going to split up, but essentially be in foxholes so that if the poles do anything, I don't have to worry about it. MMG and squad will advance up to T0. I might as well move the mortar. It's not going to really change anything, but sure. Squad over in Y10 is going to go to Z10. And that's all the movement, I believe. There's no CC. And then we go... Oh, wait. These guys. I forgot these guys. I wanted to... Do I care about being that aggressive? No. Because, again, I can't actually... This guy can't get the territory. So yeah, we go to turn 3 for Polish. And here's the problem. So, on turn 3 for the Polish... They will get reinforcements. This is 100% true and not up for debate. So their reinforcements are a lovely trio of 3 squads, an 8-down-1, and 1 LMG. There's literally no point for me to check stacks or anything. Here's the problem. unless I can get, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can't get 9 points of movement to get to Y6 or Y5. There's no way for me to get nine points. If if this was cut by 2 hexes, I can make it in the advanced phase specifically, but it'd be the only way for me to do it. So if I try to workshop this, so this leader can CX with the squads. We'll assume with the squads just because maximum effort, etc., etc. So he goes CX. I need to get to X5 by the end of this turn. There's nothing else I can do. Like, nothing else matters except getting onto X5 with a unit that is not a leader to gain control of it. So if we workshop this, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's it. Then I can't advance 2 hexes, so I'm screwed. Bypass 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bypass 6, 7, 8. I'm further away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, there's no way for me to get. It is literally too far for me to get to X5 by 1 hex. There's no way for me to ever increase movement points. So by default, I cannot regain control of the hex, which means that I can't take back the objective by the end of the requirement. So the game just automatically ends in control for the Germans due to control. And if we double check it, just so I'm not mucking this up here. So gaining control. So scenario that starts, you gain control of everything within your setup, etc. During play, a side gains control of a location / hex / building by occupying it with an armed good order infantry MMC without the presence of an armed enemy ground unit in that same location / hex / building. And it's very important that it says with an armed good order infantry MMC. Control can be gained during the act of movement. A unit need not end a phase or even survive defensive first fire in the location / hex / building to gain control of it. However, control cannot be gained via bypass. So a vehicle can never gain control of a building. No, that one, but can gain control of its location or hex as per 826.12. A non-bypassing armed vehicle prevents the opponent from gaining control of the location, hex, or building it occupies. An armed vehicle and bypass of a building prevents the opponent from gaining control of the location / hex, but not from gaining control of building. So yeah, essentially, hex control, only an armed good order infantry MMC at ground level can gain control of the hex it occupies. It basically, yeah, there's no way for the unit in Z4 to take control, and I mean, I can try to roll and he doesn't make it. So if somehow this guy had rallied and then got everything perfect, I could have CX'd him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I get him to X5 as an advance. Now he has to survive like 10 shots, but you know, stranger things have happened. But unfortunately, this is not one of those stranger things. This will be the end of the game. Very short, unfortunately, but you know, sometimes that's what happens with some of these older scenarios. Speaking of, somehow this scenario has an 11-8, I guess technically a 12-8 record on the ASL archive. I'm trying to see if there's anything here that's screwy. Somehow the Polish got labeled as the attackers, which is not the case. The Germans are defending. Nope, that's not how that works. So I don't know how those wires got crossed. Yeah. So, anyways, somehow they got flipped, and I don't think anybody noticed that. But either way, I think there's something to be said about the Germans are too strong in this one. I think that if the Polish had at least one more squad, it would probably be a far better scenario as a result. I don't think the requirement is all that punishing for the Germans, though I do appreciate how it's a changing objective and how you need to make up lost time for added territory, which you can theoretically get. There's a nice little back and forth you can do. Like for example, if the Germans had not been as successful in their advance, I could see someone saying, "Well, I don't need to risk a unit on X5 anymore. I'm gonna throw them up on Y7 now." Or you have having a unit in Z8 is far more valuable because, well, you can cover because you can't just automatically go into Y7 from X7, because of the cliff face. You have a lot more protection from Z8 as an example, which prevents getting shot from this hex as an example because you're not exposed in Y8, etc., etc., etc. I think it's really neat, and I kind of wish that I know there are more scenarios that do this, but I wish that there were more that already do it. Um, yeah. Anyways, this was fun. I think, like I said, the Polish should get a little bit, maybe like at least one more unit, and I hope that, excuse me, I hope that this was another little fun romp. If I knew it would be this short, I probably would have scheduled or taken a second scenario. But as it is, I think that'll be it. Now, hopefully, fingers crossed. I don't want to jinx it or anything. Should be doing something with 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 Rob on Monday. So I hope to see you all on Monday, and if not, then hopefully on next Saturday, which should be a solo game because I think Rutan's will still be out. Anyways, until then, bye and have a lovely weekend.